Konnichiwa, I am Helaena o Ilagan, and today we're going to find the product of the given equation. I have 15 problems. So let's start with the first equation. So we have a minus 4 squared. So since it is squared, we're going to double this one. So let's expand this. So a minus 4 squared is equals to a minus 4 times a minus 4. Now next one is we are going to use the FOIL method. FOIL method is first, outer, inner, and last. So let's start for the first. A times a is equals to a squared. Next is the outer. We have a times negative 4. So positive times negative is negative. So a times negative 4 is equals to 4a. Now we have our inner. Negative 4 times a. We have the same. Negative 4a. Lastly, the outer, which is negative 4 times negative 4. Negative times negative is equals to positive. So 4 times 4 is 16. There we have it. Now we need to combine the like terms. So as you can see, they have the same variable, unlike the other numbers and variable. So we are going to combine this negative 4a minus 4a. Since they have the same sign, we are going to add, but still copy the sign that they have. So we're going to bring down the a squared and add. Now let's proceed on adding those two. Those have the same variable. So 4a plus 4a is equals to 8a. And since we are going to copy the signs, so let's have the minus 8a. And we're going to bring down the 16. So this is our answer for the first question. We have a squared minus 8a plus 16. Now we have our second problem, which is 8 minus r squared s cubed raised to the power of 2. So we are going to do the same procedure that we did on the earlier problem. So since it is raised to the power of 2, we are going to double this one. So 8 minus r squared s cubed times 8 minus r squared s cubed. Now we're going to do the FOIL method again. So let's start with the first one. 8 times 8 is equals to 64. Next is the outer. 8 times negative r squared s cubed. Positive times negative is negative. 8r squared s cubed. Now the inner, negative r squared s cubed times 8, still the same. Negative minus r squared, 8r squared s cubed. And lastly, the two variables. Negative times negative is equals to positive. And we are going to add the exponent. So r, 2 plus 2, 4. And the s, 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. Now to proceed, we are going to combine the like terms, which is the negative r squared s cubed minus r squared s cubed. So we have the same procedure. Bring down the 64. Add those two expressions since they have the same sign. So 8 plus 8 is equals to 16. R squared s cubed, and copy the sign of the larger number. But since they have the same number, so we're going to copy the sign. So they have negative sign, so it is minus. Now lastly, you need to bring down the plus r raised to the power of 4 s raised to the power of 6. So this is our answer for the number 2. 64 minus 16 r squared s cubed plus r raised to the power of 4s raised to the power of 6. Okay, for the third problem, we have 2x minus 5 squared. We're going to do the same. So expand this one. 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5. Now we are going to do the FOIL method again. We're going to start with the first. 2x times 2x is equals to 4x squared. Next, the outer, 2x times negative 5. Negative times positive is equals to negative. So we have 10 minus 10x. Next is the inner. We have the same, minus 10x. And lastly, the last, which is negative 5 times negative 5. Negative times negative is equals to positive. And 5 times 5 is equals to 25. Now we are going to combine the like terms. But first, we need to bring down the 4x squared. Next is to add those who have the same variable. So they have the same sign, which is negative. So we're going to add them. And yes, so we're going to add them. So 10 plus 10 is equals to 20. 20x. So copy the sign of the larger number. But since they have the same number, so we're going to copy the sign. So we have negative or the minus. And bring down the 25. Positive 25. So our answer for this problem is 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. Okay, we have the fourth problem, which is 11 minus 6a squared b cubed c raised to the power of 2. So we'll do the same. 11 minus 6a squared b cubed c times 11 minus 6a squared b cubed c. Now let's do the FOIL method. 11 times 11, let's start with the first. 11 times 11 is equals to 121. 121. Next is the outer. 11 times 6 is equals to 66. So positive times negative is equals to negative 66. And copy the variables a squared b cubed c, all the inner, which is the negative 6a squared b cubed c times 11. We have the same, minus 66a squared b cubed c. And lastly, the last, which is negative 6a squared b cubed c times negative 6a squared b cubed c. So negative times negative is equals to positive. 6 times 6 is equals to 36. And the variables, we're going to add the exponent of each variable. So a squared plus a squared, we have a raised to the power of 4. We're going to put the the 36 here, so it is clear. A, so a squared times a squared is equals to a raised to the power of 4. Now b cubed times b cubed is equals to b. 3 plus 3, 6 over 6. Now c, we have the imaginary one, so c times c is equals to c squared. Now combine the like terms. Negative 66a squared b cubed c minus 66a squared b cubed c. But first, we are going to bring down the 121. Now, next is to add those who have like terms. So they have the same sign, which is negative. We are going to add them, but we're going to copy the sign. So we have negative 66 plus 66 is equals to 132. And copy the variables. A squared, b cubed, c. And lastly, bring down the positive 36a raised to the power of 4, b raised to the power of 6, c squared. So this is our answer for the number 4 problem. 121 minus 132a squared b cubed c plus 36a over 4b over 6c squared. Our fifth problem is this. So 7xyz squared minus 12 raised to the power of 2. We're going to do the same procedure, which is to expand this one. 7xyz squared minus 12 times 7xyz squared minus 12. We're going to do the FOIL method. 7xyz squared times 7xyz squared. We have 7 times 7 is equals to 49. X times x is equals to x squared. Y times y is equals to y squared. And z squared times z squared is equals to z over 4. Next is the 7xyz squared to the negative 12, I mean. So 7 times 12 is equals to 84. But since we have positive sign here and negative sign here, if we're going to multiply it, we're going to have a negative sign. So negative or minus 84. And copy the variables, x, y, z squared. Next is the inner to inner, negative 12 times 7xyz squared. We have the same answer, which is the negative 84xyz squared. And lastly, negative 12 times negative 12 is equals to 144. Negative times negative is equals to positive. So we are going to have a positive sign plus 144. Now we're going to combine the like terms, which is the negative 84xyz squared minus 84xyz squared. But first, we are going to bring down the 49xy squared, x squared, y squared, z over 4. Now add the like terms since they have the same sign. So minus 84 like Negative 84 plus negative 84 is equals to negative 168. Copy the variables and bring down the 144. So this is our answer for the problem 5. 49x squared y squared z over 4 minus 168 xyz squared plus 144. Now our problem 6 is 3r squared minus 8xt squared raised to the power of 2. Expand. 3r squared minus 8xt squared raised to xt squared times 3r squared minus 8xt squared. Do the FOIL method. 3r squared times 3r squared. We have 3 times 3 is equals to 9. R squared times r squared is equals to r over 4 raised to the power of 4. Next is the negative 8x squared to the 3r squared. 8 times 3, 8, 16, 24. Negative times positive is equals to negative. So 24. Next is copy the variables. So let's start with the r squared and xt squared. Now next is the negative 8xt squared to the 3r squared. So we have the same answer. Minus 24r squared xt squared. Now lastly is the negative 8xt squared and multiply it to the negative 8xt squared. 8 times 8 is equals to 64. Negative times negative is equals to positive. 64. X times x squared. Meanwhile, the t squared times t squared is equals to t over 4 or raised to the power of 4. Now combine the like terms, but first let's bring down the 9r raised to the power of 4. Since they have the same sign, we're going to add it. And their sign is negative, so we're going to bring down the negative sign or the minus. So 24 plus 24 is equals to 48. And copy the variables. R squared xt squared. Now, lastly is we're going to bring down the 64x squared t raised to the power of 4. And there we have it, our answer for the problem number 6. 9r raised to the power of 4 minus 48 r squared xt squared plus 64x squared t raised to the power of 4. Our problem 7 has a fraction already. So 5 over 6 r squared s minus 2 over 3t raised to the power of 2. We're going to expand it. 5 over 6 r squared s minus 2 over 3t times 5 over 6 r squared s minus 2 over 3t. We're going to do the same, which is FOIL method. So to multiply the fraction, we're going to multiply the numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. So 5 times 5 is equals to 25. Over 6 times 6 is equals to 36. R squared times r squared. R raised to the power of 4. Meanwhile, the s times s is equals to s squared. That's the first one. Next is the outer to outer. 5 over 6 r squared s times negative 2 over 3t. So, positive times negative is equals to negative. 5 times 2 is equals to 10. Over 6 times 3 is equals to 18. Copy the variables. So r squared st. Now, next is the inner to inner. It has the same answer to the outer to outer, which is negative 10 over 18 r squared st. And lastly, the last, which is last to last, negative 2 over 3t times negative 2 over 3t. Negative times negative is equals to positive. 2 times 2, 4. And 3 times 3 is 9. Then t times t is equals to t squared. Now combine the like terms. We have the negative 10 over 18 r2st minus 10 over 18 r squared st. So bring down first the 25 over 36 r4s2. And since it is a fraction, and they have the same denominator, we're going to put down the 18 and copy the sign, which is the minus. So 10 plus 10 is equals to 20. Copy the variables. R squared st plus 4 over 9 t squared. Going to simplify this one. So both numbers can be divided into 2. So we're going to simplify it. So copy this one first. r4s squared minus 20 divided 2 is equals to 10. 18 divided 2 is equals to 9. So minus 10 over 9. Copy the variable to r squared st plus 4 over 9 t squared. So our answer for the problem number 7 is 25 over 36 r raised to the power of 4 s squared minus 10 over 9 r squared st plus 4 over 9 t squared. Our problem number 8 is 3ab squared minus 2 over 9 raised to the power of 2. Now let's expand this one. So I've written the first expression already. So 3ab squared minus 2 over 9 times 3ab squared minus 2 over 9. Now let's do the FOIL method. Start with the first to first. 3ab squared times 3ab squared, which is 3 times 3 is equals to 9. A times a is equals to a squared. B squared plus b times b squared is equals to b raised to the power of 4. Next is the outer to outer. 3ab squared times negative 2 over 9. So we are going to multiply only the numerator to the whole number. So 3 times 2 is equals to 6. But first, let's have the negative sign. So 3 times 2 is equals to 6 over 9. Copy the denominator and copy the variables. ab squared. Next is the inner to inner, which has the same answer to the outer to outer. So minus 6 over 9 ab squared. The last to last, which is negative 2 over 9 times negative 2 over 9. Negative times negative is equals to positive. 2 times 2 is equals to 4. Then 9 times 9 is equals to 81. We need to combine the like terms. So we have here the negative 6 over 9 AB squared and negative 6 over 9 AB squared. Let's copy first the first expression and then the sign. Copy the denominator since they have the same denominator and add the numerator, which is 6 plus 6 is equals to 12. Copy the variable. And let's simplify it. 9a squared b over 4 minus 12 can be divided into 3 and also the 9. So 12 divided 3 is equals to 4. Meanwhile, 9 divided to 3 is equals to 3. Copy the variables. AB squared plus 4 over 81. And here is our answer for the number 8 problem. 9a squared b over 4 raised to the power of 4 minus 4 over 3ab squared plus 4 over 81. Now, our next problem is 3 over 5x minus 3 over 4 squared. Expand this one. 3 over 5x minus 3 over 4 times 3 over 5x minus 3 over 4. Let's do the FOIL method. 3 over 5x times 3 over 5x is equals to 3 times 3, 9. 5 times 5, 25. X times x is equals to x squared. Now let's do the outer to outer. 3 over 5x times negative 3 over 4. Negative times positive is equals to negative. 3 times 3 is equals to 9. 5 times 4 is equals to 20. And copy the variable. Let's proceed. Negative 3 over 4, the inner to inner, negative 3 over 4 times 3 over 5x. We have the same number as to the outer to outer, which is negative 9 over 20x. And lastly, negative 3 over 4 times negative 3 over 4, which is negative times negative is equals to positive. 3 times 3 is equals to 9. 4 times 4 is equals to 16. Now combine the like terms. Copy the 9 over 25x. Copy the sign, which is the negative. 9 plus 9 is equals to 18. Copy the denominator. And copy the variable. Now, again, copy the last expression. 9 over 16. And simplify this one since they can be divided into 2. Again, copy this one. 5x. Copy the sign. 18 and 20 can be divided into 2. So 18 divided 2 is equals to 9 over 20 divide 20 divided 2 is equals to 10. Copy the variable and here is our answer for the problem number 9. 9 over 25x minus 9 over 10x plus 9 over 16. Now for the problem 10, we have problem number 10. We have 2 over 7ab minus 5c squared. Again, expand the expression. 2 over 7ab minus 5c times 2 over 7ab minus 5c. Next is we're going to multiply it. 2 over 7ab times 2 over 7ab. 2 times 2 is equals to 4. 7 times 7 is equals to 49. A times A is equals to A squared. B times B is equals to B squared. Now, 2 over 7AB times negative 5C, negative times positive is equals to negative. Now, we're going to multiply this one to the numerator. So, 5 times 2 is equals to 10. And copy the denominator, which is the 7. And copy the variable. And C. Now, next is the inner to inner, which is negative 5C times 2 over 7AB. We have the same answer. 10 over 7ABC. And lastly, negative 5C times negative 5C. Negative times negative is equals to positive. 5 times 5 is equals to 25. C times C is equals to 6 squared. Now, we're going to combine this one since they have the same denominator. Copy the sign. 10 plus 10 is equals to 20. Copy the denominator and copy the variables ABC plus 25 C squared. Now, this is the answer for the problem number 10. 4 over 49 a squared b squared minus 20 over 7 abc plus 25c squared. Our problem 11 has already a decimal. So 0.3 minus 0.2 xy squared. Let's expand this one. 0.3 minus 0.2 xy times 0.3 minus 0.2 xy. Let's do the FOIL method. So let's have the first two first. 0.3 times 0.3 is equals to 0.09. Next is the outer to outer. 0.3 times negative 0.2 xy. 3 times 2 is equals to 6. And 2 decimal places. So 0.06. Copy the variable xy. Negative times positive is equals to negative. So we have the negative sign. Next is the same. Negative 0.2 xy times 0.3. 0.06 xy. And lastly, the negative 0.2 xy times negative 0.2 xy. Negative times negative is equals to positive. 2 times 2 is equals to 4. 2 decimal places, so 0.04. X times x is equals to x squared. Y times y is equals to y squared. Now combine the like terms. 0.06 xy, negative 0.06 xy, and negative 0.06 xy. Bring down first the 0.09. And then copy the sign and add this one. So 0.06 plus 0.06 is equals to 0.12. So 0.12. Copy the variable plus 0.04 x squared y squared. So here is our answer for the number 11 problem. 0.09 minus 0.12 xy plus 0.04 x squared y squared. Okay, our problem number 12 is 4x minus 1.1 yz squared raised to the power of 2. Expand this one. 4x minus 1.1 yz squared times 4x minus 1.1 yz squared. Let's do the FOIL method. 4x times 4x is equals to 16. X times x is equals to x squared. Next is the 4x times negative 1.1 yz squared. 4 times 1.1 is equals to 4.4. And negative times positive is equals to negative. And copy the sign. The variables, I mean. X, y, z squared. Let's proceed. Negative 1.1 yz squared to the 4x. We have the same answer. Negative 4.4 xyz squared. And lastly, the negative 1.1 yz squared, we're going to multiply it to the same number. So, negative times negative is equals to positive. 1.1 times 1.1 is equals to 1.21. Y times y is equals to y squared. Z squared times z squared is equals to z raised to the power of 4. Now combine the like terms, but first let's bring down the 16x squared. Okay, since they have the same sign, which is negative, we're going to add it and copy the sign. So 4.4 plus 4.4 is equals to 8.8. And copy the variables, x, y, z squared. And lastly, bring down the 1.21 y squared z over 4. There you have it, our answer for problem number 12. 16x squared minus 8.8 xyz squared plus 1.21 y squared z over 4. Okay, for the problem number 13, we have 1.2 mn minus 0.5 p raised to the power of 2. Expand this one. 1.2 mn minus 0.5 p times 1.2 mn minus 0.5 p. Let's do the FOIL method. 1.2 times 1.2 mn, 1.2 mn times 1.2 mn is equals to 1.44. M times n, m squared. N times n, n squared. 1.2 mn times negative 0.5 p. 1.2 times 0.5 is equals to 0.6. Negative plus positive is equals to negative, so we have the negative sign here. And copy the variables, so m and p. Okay, let's proceed. Negative 0.5 p times 1.2 mn, same answer, 0.6 mnp. Lastly, the negative 0.5 p times to negative 0.5 p. Negative 5 times negative 5 is equals to positive 0.25. P times p is equals to p squared. So, we need to combine the like terms. They have the same sign, so we're going to add it. So, 0.6 plus 0.6 is equals to 1.2, and copy this sign. And lastly, we need to bring down the 0.25p. So here is our answer for the problem number 13, which is 1.44 m squared n squared minus 1.2 mnp plus 0.25 p. Number 14 problem is 1.3 abc squared minus 3d raised to the power of 2. Expand this one. 1.3 abc squared minus 3d times 1.3 abc squared minus 3d. Okay, let's do the FOIL method. 1.3 ABC squared times 1.3 ABC squared is equals to 1.69 A squared B squared C raised to the power of 4. 0.69 A squared B squared C over 4. Now, 1.3 ABC squared times negative 3B. Let's have the positive times negative is equals to negative. 1.3 times 3 is equals to 3.9. And copy the variables. A, B, C squared B. Okay, the inner to inner, they have the same answer to the outer to outer. And lastly, the last to last, which is negative 3b times negative 3b, we're going to put it here. Negative times negative is equals to positive. 3 times 3 is equals to 9. D times D is equals to D squared. Okay, let's combine the like terms. But first, let's bring down those, let's bring down the expressions that won't need to combine. Okay, so they have the same sign, so we're going to add it, and they have negative sign, so we're gonna use the negative sign. So 3.9 plus 3.9 is equals to 7.8. And copy the variables. A, B, C squared B. Okay, and bring down the positive 9B squared. So here's our answer for the number 14. 1.69 A squared B squared C over 4 minus 7.8 ABC squared B plus 9B squared. So for our last problem, we have 2.5x squared y squared minus 6z cubed raised to the power of 2. Let's expand this one. 2.5 x squared y squared minus 6z cubed times 2.5 x squared y squared minus 6z cubed. Okay, let's do the FOIL method. 2.5 times 2.5 is equals to 6.25. X squared times x squared is equals to x squared times x squared is equals to x over 4. Y squared times y squared is equals to y raised to the power of 4. Next is 2.5x squared y squared. Multiply it to negative 6z cubed. Positive times negative is equals to negative. 2.5 times 6 is equals to 15. And copy the variables. X squared, y squared, squared, and z cubed. So, negative 6z cubed. Multiply it to 2.5x squared y squared. Same answer, 15x squared y squared z cubed. And lastly, the negative 6z cubed times negative 6z cubed. Negative times negative is equals to positive. 6 times 6, 36. Z cubed times z cubed is equals to z raised to the power of 6. Since 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. Bring down the 6.25. X over 4y raised to the power of 4. Combine the like terms. So we have 15 plus 15, which is 30. Copy the variables x squared, y squared, and z cubed. And bring down the positive 36. Z raised to the power of 6. And there you have it, our problem for the last question. So 6.25x raised to the power of 4, y raised to the power of 4 minus 30x squared y squared z cubed plus 36z raised to the power of 6. And thank you so much for listening, and I hope I explained it well.